All right, we're live. Welcome to the According to Sources podcast. This is Andre Williams, the owner, proprietor, whatever, of According to Sources. Today, I am joined by someone who's actually done a podcast before, but because we weren't able to actually record it, we were just doing we were doing the podcast with the assumption that it was recording, but it actually wasn't. So we're going to introduce Devin again for the first time. This is Devin Wittenberg. He is now a writer for According to Sources. Really cool dude. I think Devin, he'd been following us on Twitter for a while, and we've been going back and forth. Basically, I think it was a lot more about like boxing. We've been going back and forth about boxing, and then I think one day you hit me up and was like, how do I start writing for the website? And I'm always looking for writers. I'm like, oh shit, somebody wants to write. All right, cool. Send me some of your writing. We got down like that now. Like Devin is like, you see him all over the Twitter page. He's always doing stuff on Twitter. All of his stuff goes to Facebook too. But Devin, tell the people about yourself, where you're from. Give them some information.
Yep, born, raised, and bred in Chicago. We lived in Florida for a few years, and that's where I went to Florida State University, came back here, served in the Navy, and now I am a competitive, successful amateur boxer in Chicago. And I also cover baseball, boxing, and anything other special editorials for According to Sources, and here we are.
And look at that. Look who dropped in out of nowhere. Mr. Robert Tate. Money making Rob. It's been a minute, Rob. How you doing, man? This is my cousin. I ain't even talked. We ain't did a podcast in I don't know how long. But we got the crew here, and I think Rob is a little bit under the weather. So pardon him if he doesn't do as much talking as you would expect Mr. Tate to do. But we about to get right into it. We're all from Chicago. We say this all the time. We're from Chicago. We deal with the Bulls. What the hell is going on with the Chicago Bulls?
Real quick,
I think.
What'd you say, Rob?
Real quick, what up, Devin? What up, fool?
What's up, Rob? Yeah, he's sick.
Go ahead. Yeah. I don't know what the hell it is I got, man. I caught it real quick. Go ahead, Devin.
I think if we could answer what the hell was going on with the Bulls, I think we'd have positions in the front office, because apparently somebody up there doesn't know what the hell they're doing.
Maybe not. Maybe not want anybody to find out what the hell is going on in Chicago.
I think it's like a melting pot with this chaos. That's exactly what it is. Because they have a winning record, that's what you could perfectly describe them as, chaos. Because there's so many different characteristics and intricates of things going on, but yet you look at their record and you see where they stand in the East, and it's just, how does this reflect what is actively going on? And that's where we have the challenging question of, where is the problem and where is the solution?
I don't know what the solution is, but I know there is a handful of problems that we were actually talking about a little bit earlier before the podcast started. They have a leadership issue, and I was talking to Rob about this earlier in the day. I don't know, I'm so tired of even hearing the word leadership as it applies to the Chicago Bulls. I'm tired of hearing who's the leader, who's the face, who should guys follow. I'm tired of all of that. You want to know who the Chicago Bulls who the leader should be and who they should be following? They should be following that goddamn coach. I don't want to hear anything about them following Jimmy Butler or this leadership by committee and all this other nonsense. Yeah, if you want a guy to be the captain, to go up there when they talk to the referees, cool. But all this other nonsense that has nothing to do with basketball, I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired of hearing about Jimmy Butler and his ascension leadership. And maybe that's just me. Am I crazy to think?
It ain't just you. People love to compare. That we're in the
Hold
comparison.
on, Rob. We having some technical difficulties with your microphone.
Of course we are. That's part for the course for me.
It sound like R2D2.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. Am I still out there like that?
Say it again.
Am I still messed up?
Hmm.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Go ahead, Devin, while we wait for Rob to.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think it alludes to just the forced nature of, I want to say management, even though I can't really, we obviously we can't speak on that because we're from the outside trying to look in. But it looks like just because how Jimmy just blew up so fast while Derek was out, they wanted him to be a leader. They wanted him to be that, that verbal and vocal, voice in the locker room in the huddle. And then, I mean, I was just on Harlem the other day. He got billboards of himself. I was like, where the hell did this come from? I mean,
Yeah,
he is just he's starting to become, obviously that's good for him to become his own brand. We could see him as like another player on the Bulls. It's not just Derek, but at the same time with this shit that just happened the other day, you're blaming your coach. Like, that's not what leaders do. And I think that's a direct result of, all this being forced on him so fast, and his maturity level just can't match
now,
the forced leadership role that they put on him.
here's my question: is all of this being forced on him, or is he forcing this upon himself? Like, because
Ooh.
he started talking about being a leader well in advance of anything.
Hmm.
Like the first thing I remember hearing about from Jimmy Butler, like to even start like training camp, was about being a leader and how he needed to take a leadership role on the team and blah blah blah, leadership this, leadership that, and it's like, man, like, oh, just chill out, cuz like all you have to do is play really, really, really good basketball, and
Hmm.
everything else will take care of itself. For you to like the first thing coming out of your mouth is how you want to take a leadership position in the locker room and have the guys follow you. Like those are things like you don't have to say that. If you're worthy of that, it'll just happen. Nobody's gonna resist the dude who's going in there and putting in the work. But if you're putting in the work and continuously talking about it, like, and then it's this attitude with Jimmy. Like it's been this attitude all year long, like this thing where he has in his mind that nobody else works harder than Jimmy Butler, or even as hard as Jimmy Butler. We all know Jimmy Butler works very, very hard. But the idea that nobody on the Bulls works as hard as him is asinine to me, completely ridiculous. You had guys coming back from multiple injuries and surgeries last year just so that they could play basketball. If they're not working hard to get back on the court, what the hell are they doing? So I think his mentality is bringing a lot of animosity his way when it doesn't necessarily have to be like that. He could just chill out.
And not to forget that huge contract probably gave him some sense of entitlement. Like, well, if y'all gonna pay me all this money, I need to act like this. I need to be like this.
But you
That's,
don't
goddamn, it's hard.
but you don't have to. You don't have to act a different
Right.
way just because you got that money. You got that money because of who you were, right? Like this is
Hmm.
the player that you were. If you continue to be that player and just improve upon it, the leadership will come. Like people will follow you. But if you change up what got you to where you were to begin with, then no, people aren't going to follow you anymore. Like, well, we thought you were this guy, and now you're somebody completely different. Now, who the hell are we supposed to be following? Because it's not this dude. This isn't Jimmy Butler. I don't even know who this guy is. I I don't know. It's I know one thing though. This team has a very, very small window to decide whether or not this season is going to be a complete and utter failure, or if they're going to actually be able to do something with it. They have like
Hmm.
maybe a month to get it in order. Um, and if they can't, then they're going to blow this whole damn thing up at the end of the season. They might need to blow it up anyway. I mean, shit, it's not working. None of it is working. I wish Derek was playing better. I don't know what I mean. I don't know what he can do to play better. It's not like he's not because everyone last year, like Derek is shooting too many 3 pointers. He's taking too many threes, and now Derek is not taking 3 pointers. He's going to the basket, and he just can't hit layups. So I don't. I'm not sure what he's supposed to do there. Pau Gasol. I don't even I don't even know what to say about Powell.
The last game I saw Pal do good in was it the Cavs, and wasn't that the first game of the season?
That's the first game of the season.
I swear to God, I was like, where the hell has he gone? Like, what happened?
He's no longer. He used to. He was never really good on defense, but at the very least, he would get those blocks, like timely block shots and stuff like that. Now he's not even doing that. He's not even getting those timely block shots. He's just not doing anything. He never comes over to help on defense. I don't know. Pau Gasol. I mean, I think we all pretty much know that he's going to be gone at the end of the season. He's gone as far as to say that we
Hmm.
won't be seeing Pau Gasol in a Bulls uniform next year.
That's
But
I think that's why it was so beneficial for. I mean, not beneficial, but he played so well in a Thibodeau run offense because Thibodeau's offense didn't require you basically to do anything. It was almost, I mean, ordinary offense that you could run, and Powell thrived in that, in a
there's a
sense
lot
of
of
like not.
post ups, a lot of isolations, things of that nature, where Powell can get the ball and go to work. And
Hmm.
that's what he's used to doing. Now they have this new offense where you're asking him to move around a little bit more than he's used to, stay around on the perimeter a little bit more than he's used to, do some things that he's not necessarily comfortable with. This is kind of the same thing that happened with Mike D'Antoni, and you saw how that relationship ended. It did not end very well. With Powell being on
Right.
the bench and kind of complaining about it a little bit, it didn't go very well. So I don't know. Uh, I like Powell. I've always liked Powell. I just don't think that this is necessarily the best place for him to be if this is the offense we're going to run. I think
Right.
Bobby Portis will probably be better suited for what we're doing because Bobby feels comfortable out on the perimeter. He doesn't have a problem with
Hmm.
shooting threes. That they do that. The pick and pop with the like the 1-5 pick and pop or the 2-5 pick and pop. Bobby has no problem with extending that past the 3-point line, whereas Cal has a big problem with it. So I don't know,
And,
man.
and and Bobby's so athletic. I mean, if you, I was watching some of this stuff from like Hoiberg's offense at Iowa State translating to the NBA. Like all those fours and those threes, like they thrive off of the pick and pop. Because if they could pump fake, drive to the basket, kick it out, like it required them to be athletic and be able to be swift on their feet. Now, once he's set, he's set. That's it. He's not moving, especially
Uh,
when he's on the perimeter.
especially defensively. But I
Hmm.
digress. I just have to throw another goddamn shot out there, pal, and his inability to step over and at the very least offer up some resistance. But that's how he is offensively as well. He just doesn't move. He doesn't want to move. He wants to set that screen and stand up there and hit that jump shot. And the thing that's bothering me is that he's not necessarily hitting that jump shot as much as I would like to see him hit it. Like that's becoming a huge issue for me. If you're going to take that jump shot as often as he's taking it, I want him to hit it at a much higher rate than he's hitting. Like last year, that was a guaranteed 2 points, and now this year, I don't feel like that. I don't feel
Right.
like when he gets that mid range jump shot that it's a guaranteed 2 points. Like it might be a 2 point, it might not be. And then once somebody he misses it, then they start running out. Next thing you know, Pau Gasol is nowhere to be found. Like you can't find Pau, he's nowhere to be found, and his man is running out for easy layup, easy buckets. Like and it's happening all the time. So if he's not gonna hit that shot, I prefer him not taking it off. That's my stance on it. Don't take the goddamn shot if you're not gonna hit it. Goddamn it! I've had enough of this. Enough. Um, who else has been bothering me on the Chicago Bulls? It kind of sucks. Joe Kim was starting to play really really well, and then he gets hurt. He's gonna be gone for probably about a month.
Well, good news is it's only a few weeks. It's not as bad because the first thing I thought of is when Dwayne Wade. Remember when he sprained his shoulder,
Yeah, they
and
said
that's
they said
exactly what I thought it was like.
yeah, they said 2 weeks, and then they'll evaluate him after that. So I'm expecting that after those 2 weeks are over, he's gonna probably be gone for another 2 weeks. I'm just gonna say he's gone for a month, just to be safe. The one good thing about it is that means that Bobby is gonna be able to play a couple more minutes because now there'll be some room for him to play. But Joe Kim was really coming into his own in the offense and all of that. Now I prefer to see him playing a little bit more, just like he would, because he wasn't really feeling playing this 20 minutes a game shit. He wanted to play minutes, like you know what I'm saying. He's like, where's my minutes at? Like I'm used to playing 25, 30, 35 minutes a game, and now I'm playing 20, 25 minutes a game. He's wondering where the hell his minutes are gonna come from. So I understand that because I want to see Joe Kim play a little bit more. Now we gotta keep moving on because I know Rob ain't feeling good. We got to talk about the Trash Brothers.
Am I muted?
Nah, you good now, bro.
Oh, okay.
We got to talk about the Trash Brothers.
The Trash Brothers.
Yeah, Tony Snell and Nico.
Oh Jesus Christ!
real quick, one quick thing before you move on to that. Just being here in Chicago and listening to all what people are saying about the Bulls and Jimmy and especially Derek. Nobody takes Powell to task at all. Nobody says everything you just said, Dre, about Powell. Nobody talks about him not playing defense, him not jumping, him not moving,
not boxing out.
I forget the guy on Twitter. I don't know if it's Basketball Insider, but like he despises Powell. Like every time
a video
every Bulls game. If you follow, is it Basketball Insider, Dre?
I think it's
B-Ball
like
Insiders. B-Ball Insiders or something like that.
Right. And if you follow him on Twitter and you're watching the Bulls game, he'll post 5 or 6 videos of Powell not moving. Like he literally watched.
This is disgusting.
Yeah, he was like, I can't stand this guy. And like I forget what game it was, but my man came around off the screen and Powell was standing right in front of him.
And moved back.
He moved. He let him go to the rack.
It's at B-Ball Breakdown for anyone that wants to go and follow him. Yeah, at B-Ball Breakdown.
He's really good.
Yeah, he's really good. Go and give him a follow. I don't know what's going on with Powell. I think he might just be playing the season out because he saw the writing on the wall last year when the team here's the thing with the Chicago Bulls, and I don't want to spend too much time on them. It just looks like, and I said this last year, and I thought it was just from the pressure of playing with Thibs and the front office having their issues, it just doesn't look like they are having any fun.
Nope.
It doesn't look like they enjoy playing basketball. They don't enjoy each other. Nope. It's like everybody comes in.
9 to 5ers.
Yep, they come in, they do their job, they leave, and they never talk to one another again. And that's just it. Like this is the people that I work with.
That's just not a good mix. You listen to athletes that's on the radio or anywhere else say, well, you don't have to like each other, but you have to respect each other. Like I believe that to a point. But
you got to have some people that like each other.
You got to like each other some kind of way because that reflect on the court. If you decide, I don't really like this dude, I'm not gonna pass him the ball. I mean, that's a play that you're potentially messing up.
Like I know Jimmy. No. Joe and Derek are really close. I know that. But outside of Joe and Derek, I don't know who on the Chicago Bulls are actual friends. Who do you know on the Chicago Bulls that are friends? I
know the year before last when Boozer was there and little Nate Robinson, they was forever posting pictures of them all together, hanging out, whatever, kicking it. You don't see that anymore.
Yeah, they gone now. They still friends. They just ain't playing in the NBA. They still good. I mean, they might be the greatest of friends, but they don't play for Chicago Bulls no more. So there's really no camaraderie. You see when Derek does anything good, who is the first person that gets up off the bench?
Usually Joe Kim.
Joe Kim is pointing because he's trying his best to get Derek up. He wants him to know that he's there for him. I don't really see that anywhere else. I don't see that type of camaraderie. It's okay, Derek and Joe, but after that, where does that come from? Like who's also
I didn't want to believe that when all that stuff was going on. I didn't want to believe it. It's like, nah, I think this is probably, but once Jimmy had chances to dead
and he didn't.
to dead stuff, when he could have just been like, nah, that's not what it is. It's we cool, we good, and he just didn't. And it's like, all right, there's probably something there, and I was in denial. And it's probably not nothing, but when you got a chance to just dead it, then it's probably something there. And then he always got comments. He always saying something.
Always saying something. And that's the first, like Casey Johnson. Casey Johnson.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I can't remember what his goddamn name was. I follow Casey, and I'm always on. I feel like Chris Tucker in Rush Hour. Is it Kelsey or Chelsea? But yeah, he said something. He was like, for all of the stuff that Derek gets, for like clunky comments, he makes some bad comments from time to time. Derek from the south side of Chicago, that motherfucker know how to talk.
Yeah, we've all established that he's not the most eloquent speaker.
But he's never once not had teammates back. He's always been the rah-rah teammate guy, forever and a day. It doesn't matter who you are.
Even after this situation with what Jimmy said.
He's always behind
Did you hear what Jimmy said?
Always.
Not Jimmy. Did you hear what Rose said?
What did he say? I didn't get to hear anything.
He said he was like, nah. He's like, everything is cool. We're all good.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what was funny though, because then when he said that, and then people were like, oh, oblivious Derrick Rose. Like, no, this isn't Derrick Rose being oblivious. This is him being a grown ass man and not trying to keep some shit going on. Like, y'all want Derrick to just be like the shit all over Jimmy, which is probably what y'all want, so that y'all can shit all over Derrick. Like, but he's like, that's just not the type of person that he is. This is the dude who backed Keith Bogans, and we all know Keith Bogans is fucking bad.
Oh, Keith Bogans is so trash. God damn, you had to bring him up.
But Derrick Rose said, "That's my shooting guard. I'm rolling with Keith Bogans." That's just. I mean, because that's just the type of guy that he is. That's the type of person he is. He may not always say the right things, but he ain't never saying the wrong thing out of like some bad place. And I feel like we've gotten to a point with Jimmy where he's saying things out of the wrong place, like. And I hear a lot of justification for what Jimmy is saying. Well, maybe it was good that Jimmy said
all over the place. Nobody's taking this kid to task over what he's saying.
Well, maybe that's something that Jimmy needs.
It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. It's okay. What?
No, it's not okay. That's never okay. It's never okay to talk about your coach like that. It's never been okay to talk to your coach like that. And I don't. And if it was Derrick Rose. Man, it would have been some furniture moving. It'd have been hell in the city.
Oh, my God. They did 24-hour Derrick talk if it was him.
And it was crazy because it was a whole bunch of Derrick Rose talk the day that he was like, yeah, we need to do something to maybe get so that we could get back or get some energy going. Maybe guys do this, maybe some better play calls. And it wasn't some different play calls. I don't even think he said better play calls. He didn't even say different. He said some play calls to get us with some better energy. And it was like people talking about like Derrick Rose is calling out his coach. No, he isn't. He's just saying we just need to find a way to get some better energy. I don't understand. Like Jimmy literally called his coach out. And said he needs to be a better coach. No shit. You can still be a better player. I don't think I like Jimmy Butler nearly as much as Jimmy Butler likes Jimmy Butler, and that is a problem.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm supposed to be a fan of Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is a bigger fan of himself than I am, and that is a fucking problem. All Jimmy does is talk about Jimmy now, and I don't understand.
Hands off Jimmy.
Don't touch Jimmy. And that's how everybody feels now. It's like I feel like
he knows it. Beat it.
I think I was talking to my brother, and I use like a Batman analogy, right? I feel like Derek is. You remember the end of the Dark Knight Returns? Not the Dark Knight Returns. What was the second one? Whatever the second Batman was. And Harvey Dent went through his goddamn Two-Face shit. And Batman didn't let him be the bad guy. I feel like Derek is Batman and fucking Jimmy Butler is Harvey Dent. Where every goddamn thing that could possibly be that goes wrong with the Chicago Bulls, even if it's Jimmy Butler, gets dumped on Derrick Rose. Like somehow people are making this out to be like, well, if Derrick was playing better, Jimmy wouldn't have to say anything. Like,
yeah. Yeah,
What?
because it's like, well, Jimmy's scoring 30 and 34 and career highs. It's like, well, yeah, because he's. I mean, when you playing isolation basketball, I would hope you would be able to score points.
Didn't we talk about this yesterday, Rob? When I told you I don't like watching Jimmy Butler play basketball.
Mm-mm.
I don't enjoy it.
I mean, he said it himself. I mean, and I'm sure you heard all the complaints about what with the offense and what he was complaining about.
Yeah, he needed
And
touches
not,
in the mid
yeah,
post and isolations and all this other
he
shit.
need more isolations and all that kind of garbage. It's like, wait, what?
No,
Man,
you
if he don't
don't.
sat his ass down.
No, you don't. Boy, if you don't get your ass. I hit his ass with that mug. You know the hand.
yeah, yeah.
Everything. Yo. So somebody posted a picture maybe a month or so ago on Twitter. It was like one of my favorite things to do in the summertime is roast marshmallows.
He
But
got the
he got the hand like this here. Oh, he got the marshmallows. Someone roasted marshmallows. One of my favorite things ever, dog. It's so fucking hilarious. I saw it, and I must have saw it at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was literally in tears every time I look at it. Like, my favorite thing to do is roast marshmallows in the summer. Oh my god, that shit is fucking hilarious.
Okay,
That's so fucking creative.
we've
That
talked about.
nigga, Jimmy need the
Need
hand
somebody.
though.
He needs
That's what
somebody to
Jimmy
put their hand in his face. Boy, you don't sit your ass.
That's the problem, man. Derry needs the south side of him, the real south side to come out on Jimmy.
Like,
Like,
boy, if you don't get your ass. But
hot
Derek,
top fade, having ass.
yo, hot top
Yeah.
face, pock mark face having ass. Boy, just get. All right, then Reggie come out too and just start roasting him. Boy, if you don't get your 21 jersey wearing ass.
Jimmy old country has to be all confused. He'd be like, wait, but I do wear 21. I know those 21
Your 11 plus 10 jersey wearing ass. Country ass.
Taylor
Taylor Swift listening ass. Just keep going on and on and on. Like, boy, this is what we're gonna do to you, Jimmy. Every single time. Every single time you start getting crazy, we just
You start talking shit.
you gonna put your ass over the spit, boy. Let your ass
No
have
such.
it. I was gonna I'm letting Devin get his uh get his stuff off right now, man. We want to talk about the Bulls, but I know he had a couple things that he wanted to talk about, so I'm gonna go ahead and let him get his shit out, man. Because we like I told you before, we did a podcast. Me and Devin did a whole podcast, man. It was like
and it was great.
it was like a good hour-long podcast. We was joking up in here. We even got a real introduction for Devin because this one was real quick. We'd already done this before, so we ain't doing that again. Y'all, this is Devin. Let's move. But I want him to go ahead and get his stuff off because he has a couple things he wants to talk about. What's the first thing you want to get to, Devin?
I like to talk about the mastermind and the powerful genius of Theo Epstein. Even though Brian Cashman is as our fans don't know, I'm a diehard Yankees fan. Brian Cashman is a god to a lot of New Yorkers. Theo Epstein is slowly but surely becoming. I mean, he's going to be put in baseball folklore if the Cubs win the World Series. He did it with Boston, obviously. They won 2. They fired off another one that he basically built that team, but he was already gone.
Right.
And now this team was, a series away from the World Series last year. So instead of saying we're just going to, sit idle,
Keep everything
we'll
as
keep
is.
everything cool, we'll keep everything that we have, and we'll build off of that. He's like, oh no, to hell with that. Keep adding more. He goes out and gets Ben Zobrist, and a lot of people didn't realize that. I was reading about this from, I think it was Tom Verducci. He tweeted it like maybe a day after the Royals won the World Series. He said that there were roughly 38 scouts at the whole World Series. They were all there watching and just basically just reporting back to their respectful clubs about Ben Zobrist. What did Theo do? He went out? He's like, we lost, but guess what? I'm gonna get the best player that I can find out of this World Series. Goes and gets him. Everybody and their mom thought that Jason Hayward was gonna stay with the Cardinals. What did he do? He went right down 55 and stole him. He is slowly but surely. He's not trying to just win a World Series for the Cubs. He's trying to win multiple World Series and make this like I mean, if you just look at their lineup, Zobrist, Hayward, Schwarber, Bryant, you don't even have to put them in a particular order. Those 4 guys alone are just going to – the ball's going to be on Sheffield every afternoon. It's ridiculous what he's doing. And I don't think that a lot is being put into it right now, especially in the offseason. But because it is the Cubs, I mean, 100 and some odd years of not winning, it's hard for you to invest something, even if they got all the right names. But, I mean, it's becoming almost undeniable now that they're almost a lock to not win the World Series, but to be always in the playoffs and always making it.
They're always going to be there for the next
at least 10 years.
At least. Yeah, they'll always
at least the next 10 years.
I mean, it would have to take some serious stuff going really, really wrong for them to not be one of the better teams in the league.
Because the thing about it is, all of these cats are like under 25.
They're fucking kids.
All of them. All of them are under kids. 25. And they have, you know, even though I know that Chris Bryant is now suing the Cubs because of the way it happened, because of the way they kept control over him by not bringing him up for those 12 days when the season started. So now he's suing. You know, he has a grievance filed. So the Cubs basically have control over these kids too, because they're all kids and they're all, you know, signed up for, you know, the next 3 or 4 years. And when the time comes, they'll definitely be paying up on these cats. They're not gonna let them go because they'll be coming into their prime.
The Cubs did the right thing, man. And I've said it before. I'm not a Cubs fan. I hate the Cubs. I'm a White Sox fan. But they did the right thing. They did what they were supposed to do to ensure that they kept these guys for as long as they possibly could. And I mean, anybody who says anything differently is stupid. And I'll be the first to admit that. You're stupid. They did what they're supposed to do to protect their organization.
Looking back, everybody knew that. Even the Cubs fans that were complaining about them not bringing a kid up. And it was because the season was just starting, so people were anxious. They wanted to see him. But even if you called up to a radio show complaining about him not being brought up when the season first started, I would have to think in the back of your head, you got to be going, all right, is this 12 games really worth it? I mean, be honest with yourself. Have control over this kid now for the next few years, or bring him up, you know, for the season to start when it's not necessary. I mean, what's more important? And I think anybody that was calling the show early, you know, now understands, you know, I was probably being a jackass by complaining about that. It's probably the best decision they could have made.
Yeah, there's a lot of other things we could be complaining about.
And it was much more of an underlying issue within that, because the Cubs knew directly, because Theo Epstein I think he was working with Seattle when Seattle got Alex Rodriguez. When Seattle got A-Rod, Scott Boras was his agent at the time, who is also Chris Bryant's agent right now. He was all about, no, this kid is ready right now. He doesn't need the minors. He doesn't need any of that. He can play right now. And he wasn't lying. He wasn't like Alex. He came out from jump just like, no, I got it. He obviously he wasn't the, you know, triple crown, you know, steroid up Alex's later on in his Seattle career, but he was ready. And Seattle did the same thing. They were like, no, we'll keep him under, because of the arbitration years at like the 4th and 5th year of their career. Theo was like, oh no, we're not gonna get hustled by you. I mean, Boras can try to sue him all he wants. He might get not maybe a decision in court, but he will get some type of, you know, arbitrary cash flow back into Bryant's pocket. But the Cubs made the right decision.
Yeah,
every day.
So now we just gotta wait to see if they add another arm to that rotation. I mean, they added a 126-year-old John Lackey from the Cardinals. Which I mean, I guess I'm cool if he's your third or fourth guy.
Fourth
I
is yeah,
guess
the fourth starter is decent.
I'm cool. I mean, that's fine. It's only for a couple of years, so that's fine. So they need at least one more arm in there, and then maybe another bullpen arm. I'm not gonna say I was shocked, but them trading away Castro for essentially a bullpen arm. I guess. I mean, he had the hottest
Yeah.
bat in baseball at the end of the season last year. But I guess they had it pretty much set in their head that he was gone regardless of what he was doing. You can break
Yeah.
all the you can break
Yeah,
all the records you want and go crazy all you want, but you gone.
yeah, I think that was a foregone conclusion. That was gonna happen no matter what. But enough of these goddamn Cubs. What else you want to talk? What else you want to talk about? I mean, you know what? I mean, it's a good thing for the Cubs. I'm happy with what the White Sox have done in this offseason. They've done some
Yeah,
good
not
things.
to be outdone. They
Yeah,
made some
they
really
made
good
some pretty
moves.
good damn
Yeah, they
moves,
really
man.
did.
So I don't have no problem with what they're doing. They got some young guys. They gonna
They
be all
got
right.
the Todd father, Todd Frazier.
I couldn't believe they pulled that off.
Nobody could believe they got rid of him.
I was convinced that the Reds were keeping that dude around
Yeah,
and
yeah.
not letting him go anywhere. I'm like, they ain't gonna have no reason to have anybody come to their games if he's not there.
And
Hmm.
the White Sox came in and said, "Nope, we got that." What else was on the menu for you, Devin? I know you had a couple things on your menu, man.
Yeah, I'd like to go back to we previously talked about this in our last podcast. It didn't make it through, but at I think it was roughly 4 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, Dre, when we did that
Something like that,
our last
yeah.
podcast. It was something like that. But at the time, I was saying, is there any way that Adam Gase is going to stay with the Bears as an offensive coordinator,
No,
or would he just become a coach? And but now it's just like, I mean, because of the Bears have been so skittish, which I can really blame Robbie Gold. What was it? 2 out of the last 3 games, he
Yeah,
he blew them. But Jay Cutler is still balling. I mean, he's still not balling, but I mean, like he's changed, man. Like the
he's playing
last
good for Jay
past few
Cutler.
years, it's totally
yeah.
different from the Jay
It's
Cutler that
been
we all come to know.
it's a maturity thing. Yeah, because I mean, people have said it to their blue in the face about his talent. We all know he has a talent. He's always just been a head case. I think you can't really tell him anything. He's always been the guy that's been like super talented and wants to get by off his talent and not
Hmm.
listening to people and and doing things the right way. Like maybe whether it being his footwork and getting the ball out when he should.
He's
So
Jeff George.
yeah,
I've always said that. He's Jeff
yeah.
George.
Yeah,
Um,
just do your footwork correctly and get the ball out on time and not take so many sacks. I mean that's always been a big problem of his.
Crazy
Even though
strength in his arm, ridiculous strength, not too bright.
Well,
That's
you know, he
always
said his dude growing up was Brett Favre. I mean, if you're trying to be like Brett Favre, everybody can't do it. I
no.
mean,
Everybody can't do what Brett Favre is doing, and hell, not even Brett Favre can do it with any type of consistency. If we want to be honest about it, Brett
I
Favre had
mean,
his ups and downs too. So
I
if
mean,
Brett Favre is like one of the greatest quarterbacks, and that shit didn't work for him at all times, it damn sure ain't gonna work for you.
exactly.
But as far as Adam Gase though, I think even with the Bears offensive, I mean they've had some issues though. Even with that, and I think people are still gonna be knocking down this dude's door pretty hard. And I got a feeling that there's no chance that he's here. I mean, when you get as close as he got to getting the job last season,
Yeah,
when he probably should have got
the
the Niners
49ers job.
the
Yeah.
Niners gig. I mean that job was supposed to have been his. I forget what the issue was, but
I think they wanted him to have someone as a defensive coordinator or something. I can't remember exactly what
yeah,
it
I think
was.
it was something about what his staff was going to be.
Yeah, it was
But
probably because they wanted to keep Tom Sula.
yeah,
And
That clown.
he's
yeah,
like,
and
I don't want that dude.
how can you blame him? Tom Sula is a
Yeah,
clown.
yeah.
I don't know. That
I mean,
remains to be seen because the team just isn't really in the league. So who knows? Um, but we'll see. But yeah, I think he's going to go someplace else and get himself a head coaching job, and it's something like you said, something he should have already done a while back. I don't know where the Bears would be if Robbie Gold was able to hit even just the normal of normal chip shots.
Normal shit.
I was trying to tell somebody that dude got the yips now, man, and that's not something anybody, any athlete,
It's just like a
athletes.
closing pitcher. I mean, it's almost exactly like a closing pitcher. Like once he just loses that edge, and like just like you said, Dre, like once they get the yips in them, like that's it. It's nothing that you can do to try to coach and try to help them.
Nope, they have to find a way out of that themselves. Who was it? Was it Chuck Knobloch who just couldn't throw to? No, who was it? I can't remember who it was. It was some baseball player. He just couldn't throw the ball to first base. He just lost the ability
Shit,
to
John
throw.
Lester.
John Lester can't do that.
No, we're not. No. It's like a little bit.
I want to say it is Chuck Knobloch. Like,
Chuck
and that
Knobloch.
was like after he got into it with like with Joe Torre. And they were just like, all right, we got to get his ass on out of here.
Man, he just couldn't. He was throwing the ball into the stands like any opportunity he could. Shit, this ball's going. I'm selling this bitch. And that was the end of his career. Like he couldn't do anything anymore. But
I don't think Robbie is like done or anything. I think he's still able to kick. I think he's just going through a tough stretch. I think he'll be fine. He's just having a rough time right now.
yeah, because guys can kick until they're like 95. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's what I kept saying. I'm like, I don't think he's done because I mean, he should be okay to continue to kick. He's not like he's a fat overweight dude. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
He just
Yeah.
can't hit a
Sebastian
35-yard
Janikowski.
field goal anymore.
yeah.
What else you have on the agenda, Devin?
I think this is my final one, and I'm gonna try to close up shop here. I really am so my mom has been the Bulls and the Blackhawks vice president of nutrition personnel for roughly almost 20 years now, and we've just, I mean, even before she worked for them, we grew up on the Bulls, just like all three of us here. And it has really come to my attention that I need to speak out against Steph Curry and his clown of bandits. I refuse to let anybody else try to tell me that this team, don't even put them in the same conversation, not the same paragraph. Make it another day where you even bring up the 72-10 Bulls, and you want to have it in somewhat type of correlation with the Warriors. I want people to realize that you had the greatest player, arguably one of the greatest athletes to ever play sports, putting on a Bulls uniform. Then you had one of the most skilled defenders, underrated defenders of all time, and Scottie Pippen. And then let me throw it at you. You got the cheat code and the Croatian sensation, Tony Kukoc, coming off the bench. I refuse to let people try to tell me that this Warriors team is so good when you don't run the facts and the stats of how. I mean, they were destroying people. Their point differential, I think Tim Legler brought it up the other day on ESPN. The 72-10 Bulls, their team efficiency rating was like something out of a video game. That's how good they were, in a sense of successfully getting assists on every scoring play, getting baskets, and then getting to the free throw line. I think their free throw percentage that season broke a record at the time, which was later broken. They were so incredibly good, and it was effortless.
You know, I don't like
It's got to be by the Bucks. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to do this.
I don't even like comparing, eras
Different
like that.
areas.
Like it's a completely different thing.
Ah.
Different era, different ways of playing basketball. But I'll say this. I think that the Bulls would adjust to today's basketball game a hell of a lot better than they would adjust to playing the Bulls game. Like you said, you have Tony Kukoc, Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, Dennis Rodman. Those are guys that you can put out on the floor at any time, and they can guard anybody, switch on every pick and roll, and Scottie can literally guard anybody and Mike. anybody that Golden State puts on the floor. So it's a different game of basketball. It's more reliance on the 3-point shot. But if we're just talking about simple, who I think would be better in like a game, like it depending not, and it doesn't depend on what era it's in. Yeah, I think the 72-10 Bulls are a better team
Hmm.
than
I
that
think
team is.
I think my perfect way to try to describe them is they're a generational team. You could put them in any era, any generation, and they're so good at adapting just because their size, their length, and their basketball IQ. Like I was thinking about it, like I almost wanted to bust out 2K and try to do it myself. But imagine Rodman or even Pippen guarding Draymond Green. Like I don't think that would work out well for Green, to be honest with you, especially if it's Pippen, because he could play on offense too. He could play defense. Rodman maybe not as much as in a sense of like Draymond
Yeah,
guarding him.
it would probably be more so Pippen than it would be Rodman.
Right. And I just can't do it. I can't. I almost had to channel my inner Skip Bayless whenever I hear people talk about this.
They may very well be like a generational team, but I think we should let them get there before we start crowning them as such. Like before they get there, they won a championship. They're blowing teams out. They may very well win 72 games or whatever, but let's allow them the room to grow into an all-time great team before we bestow that honor upon them.
Yeah, 'cause who knows? They mess around and fall by the wayside.
Like a lot of champions do. They may win 2 championships and then that's it.
Hmm.
And injuries happen all the goddamn time. Look at the Chicago Bulls. They didn't win a championship, but they damn sure should have. If you want to be honest about it, like the Bulls probably would have won a championship had Derrick Rose not got injured. So we need to allow these things to happen. Before we start putting them in all-time greats. Like people are putting the Miami Heat, as like all-time great team, but they won 2 championships, and I don't know if we can call them an all-time great team for winning 2 championships.
Nah.
Right, so let's let it breathe. Like I know, it's the flavor of the moment right now. We got to talk about the Warriors, but give it some time to see how it all works out, how it shakes out. Anything, Kevin?
I
Dum
think
dum.
that was I think that was really it. I really had to say something about that. I am sick of those clowns.
This is driving you nuts, huh, Devin?
It really
Yeah.
has. It really has because I don't think I'm not a Steph Curry hater, but I know a hot hand when I see it. And if I think I think OJ Mayo he tried to pull a 187 on Steph Curry the other night, and it didn't work out well for him.
It's
I,
funny.
I,
I
I do
read somewhere that someone was like Stephen Curry is this generation's Michael Jordan. And I had to do like a
see shit like that. See what I'm talking about?
It was somebody. It was somebody. I ain't gonna say important, but it was somebody significant that said that too. Who was
yeah,
it?
and I'm just like, wait. I'm like,
Who,
wait,
who the hell said that?
what?
I saw it too. It was somebody on ESPN, like a former player or something, wasn't it?
It was
It was a
some.
former player. I can't remember who it
I
was.
can't
Who the
remember
hell
who it
said
was, but I was just
that?
like, wait, what?
This generation's Michael Jordan. I'm like, why?
Like, what has he done to be this generation's Michael Jordan? Like, can we just can we
Motherfucker
just
ain't
chill
busted
out?
grape.
Can we just chill out for a second here? Like before
Michael
we
Jordan won his Finals MVP.
but we need to really chill out on like every time someone does very well, like we're immediately going to the Michael Jordan comparisons. Like, just enough with that. Let these guys be these guys, and let's just allow them to be who they are. They don't have to be Michael Jordan. Like everybody isn't Michael Jordan. Nobody is Michael Jordan.
Michael ain't
Every
even Michael.
yeah,
He ain't even
like
him no more.
Michael Jordan
It
was
was
like Haley's comet, man. He's a once in a
it was
lifetime.
Jason Kidd said it.
Yeah, Jason done lost his damn mind.
Yeah,
He
he
don't
really
even
has.
he don't know what's
He,
going on up there.
Jason Kidd back on that sauce, man. That's what that is. I know a person on that sauce when he's saying something like that. Stop drinking. I think there was a couple things I wanted to talk about, but I honestly can't remember them right now. So I'm gonna let Devin go ahead and get his final words out.
Roger that. Damn. I'm gonna try to make it brief, because my eyes are starting to get heavy.
Yeah, tell me about it, man.
Um, on December 12th at UFC 194, Conor McGregor and Jose Aldo stepped into the octagon. It was supposed to be a well-produced, heavily coordinated. It was supposed to be, basically the fight of all fights to end the 2015 UFC year. 13 seconds later, and a check hook to the chin of Jose Aldo, Conor McGregor is the new champion of his division. There is no more two belts. He's a unified champion. And people crowned him as they should. And shortly after, Conor McGregor hit the streets of Vegas, hit the streets of LA, and he blew his cash at an unprecedented rate, according to the people who watch him, and everybody seemed to not have a single problem with him doing it. However, I do recall arguably one of the greatest fighters in boxing history doing the same thing, his name being Floyd Money Mayweather. Floyd was, ever since he fought Oscar De La Hoya in what was proclaimed to be the fight to save boxing, he was basically demonized for being just a prize fighter, which that's what I thought he was. And as a matter of fact, I was with my girl. We were in Walgreens the other night, and I looked at a magazine, which was GQ, and 2015's least liked people. Floyd Mayweather was ranked number 30th, and there was a huge picture of it. If you guys follow us on Twitter, you can see I tweeted a picture of it the other day. It's Floyd with a rolled up dollar bill in his mouth, eerily resembling something out of a minstrel show, which I find to be horribly distasteful. And it's saying that Floyd hustled us and he stole all of our money when he fought Manny Pacquiao. And it just seems to me that this double standard that people are living in. I mean, Conor McGregor, yeah, he's very good. He's a talented fighter. The boy has been here for all of 2 minutes. I mean, you can't even say that he defended his belt because it was a unification fight. I mean, Ronda Rousey just got the bricks beat off of her ass, and she was ending all her fights in the first round. Nobody felt hustled. Nobody felt deceived. But because Floyd went out and he did it his way, and he flossed all his money, and at the same time, which I might add, he owned himself. He wasn't under a promotional company because he owned a promotion company. He never had major sponsors because he didn't believe in that. He believed in selling himself, and that's exactly what he did. But because he didn't give Americans the bloodbath that they wanted, because he did it his way, he was to be demonized, and he shouldn't be recognized as being one of the most talented boxers of all time. We need to really step back and take a look at ourselves, because we all know what the underlying issue is here and why Floyd is treated the way he is and Conor McGregor is treated the way he is. And that's it.
Because his hair is blonde. Doesn't he got blonde hair? Is it blonde? Is it blonde
He's
hair?
Irish. I think it's like dirty blonde or something like that.
Yeah, it's more
Dirty blonde?
like reddish kind of.
Yeah, reddish. He's Irish.
You got anything, Rob?
Hopefully I won't get eaten alive for this, but I've mentioned it before, maybe not on this podcast, but I have definitely put myself out there. I'm not ashamed. Call me what you want. I have not seen not 1 second, not more than 5 minutes of any Star Wars movie. That changed this weekend. I went and saw it. I went and saw the new one without seeing any of the previous 6 or however the hell many it is. I went and saw it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty dope. It's pretty good. If you're not among the 100 million people that apparently saw it over the weekend, I highly recommend it. You probably catch more of the little inside jokes that they had going on than I did.
Probably.
But dope movie. There's just a couple little small intricacies about it that even, a novice Star Wars person like me understood that I didn't quite like. I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody. It's minor. It's minute. It's real minor. The one thing that kind of bothered me about it, because just based on my understanding of the series and what it's about, this particular thing probably shouldn't have went the way it went. But that's fine. But the rest of the movie, excellent. I mean when you spend $300 million on a movie, I guess you have no choice but the special effects to be out of this world. The effects were out of this world. J.J. Abrams killed it. Um, I also saw some pretty good previews for some new movies coming out. Some different previews for the Batman Superman joint.
Oh wow.
That scene, the longer preview in the movie, it made the movie seem a little different than everything we've already seen. It takes a storyline in a different direction. And,
Yeah, the latest trailer definitely does.
yeah, it made it's like, whoa, okay, this is a little bit different. Um, I don't give a damn what anybody else says. I'm excited for the new Turtles joint too. Kiss my
Hmm.
ass. Kiss
Yeah.
my ass. So what?
I can't wait for that movie.
It looks dope. Um, the X-Men joint looks fantastic. I think we're gonna have another big year in 2016, full of blockbuster movies breaking records because it's the comic book joints. But yeah, man, that's it. Everything else sports wise, man, y'all know what it is. Hopefully my Bulls can get it together. Jimmy can stop talking shit, play basketball, and we can send Powell to the moon or some shit. Hopefully,
Shut your fucking mouth, Jimmy.
yeah.
Uh, at According to Sources, we talk about everything, folks. Movies, video games, sports, whatever. But
Uptown, downtown. I'm everywhere, B.
everywhere. But I'm gonna go ahead and close this out so we can all go to bed. Long ass night. I think it was last week. Rajon Rondo had gotten suspended for calling a referee fucking faggot, if I'm not mistaken.
I wasn't sure exactly what
I
it
didn't
was. You
mean to
just
laugh
confirmed
at
it
that,
for me.
guys. Look, if any of our gay people are watching this, I didn't mean to laugh. Shit just sounds funny.
I think his slur was fucking faggot, if I'm not mistaken. And he got suspended for it, and I think the referee Bill Kennedy, I think it was Bill Kennedy, came out and
Yeah.
announced that he was homosexual. After that, it was a big blow up about it, as it should have been. And Rajon Rondo, he was suspended for a game. He gave a pretty lame ass apology for calling the referee a faggot. Um, you know, I've had my own issues with that. Coming up in the inner city, one of the things that we do when we talk about people, unfortunately, it's a very unfortunate thing. We call each other faggots. It's just
Which is
something.
which is which is why I laugh, people, because that shit straight out of my childhood. Fucking,
It's one of those
fucking
things that we
fag.
do. It's very, yep, we call each other fucking fags. And we
Fucking
should,
be acting like a fag right now.
yep, it's wrong, it's stupid. I wish that we did not say that word as much as we do, especially for me. I have a brother that's homosexual, and I should not say that word nearly as much as I do. And for some odd reason, I can't stop saying it. I try my best. I know it's wrong. I want to stop. I want to be better, and I can't stop. And
I need help from my fag calling nature.
I'm trying. I'm trying my best to stop saying that because it's wrong, and I wouldn't want someone going around and calling me a fucking nigga and saying something like that. So it's one of those things where I wish more people would understand that the severity of the word, even if they don't understand the reason behind it, like the reasons why people feel the way they feel. It's the same reason why you would feel the way you would feel if you were Asian and someone called you a slanty eyed so and so. Like, or if you was called a nigga, or if you was called like white trash or something like that. People don't empathize or even sympathize with things that aren't, innately part of them. Something that they can, understand inherently. Like people are very selfish and ridiculous in that manner. Um, but that's just one of those things that I'm trying to do better with, and I would hope that more people would try to do better with it as well, because unlike like most things, being gay is not perceived as something that you are. It's perceived as something that you become. No- And it's perceived that way by people who aren't, they're not gay. So you have someone who has nothing to do with the situation telling you why you are the way you are. And it empowers people to say things that they think aren't offensive because they've attached their own definition to it. That's why in the city we call someone a faggot. It's not necessarily saying that they like having sex with men or women. It's just something to demean them. And I think that as a people, we should get to the point where we're no longer trying to demean other people with words that are demeaning to a subset of people. Like, get rid of the niggas, get rid of the faggots, get rid of the wetbacks, get rid of all of that shit. It would be a very, very good thing if we could get rid of all those words. And to Rajon Rondo, I would say, be a fucking man, pick up the phone, call Bill Kennedy, and apologize. Fuck that Twitter bullshit. That was trash. You should be ashamed of yourself. Be a goddamn man. This is according to sources. You know where to find us. According to sources.com. A2 sources on Twitter. According to sources on Facebook. Devin's there. Rob's there. I'm there. You can always find us. We always talking shit. If you have any questions, you can send it to according to sources at gmail.com. I probably will never answer those questions because I rarely check that goddamn email. But in the eventuality that I do, you might get on the podcast that we do 2 years from now. For Rob, for Rob,
Hey,
Devin.
shout out to my fantasy football team. They're going for the championship this week, baby.
Too bad, Maurice, because I know you're gonna listen. For Rob, Devin, this is according to sources. We out.
Peace.
Go Knowles!
I know you're gonna listen, man. I know you're gonna listen.
Hey, I think I might have figured out